hello, and welcome everyone. We are back. What we're watching, episode 27. That is our what episode?
Oh man. Oh man. It's the 27. It's the
It's
20. I mean,
it's our quarter and two pennies episode.
there you go. Quarter and two pennies, man, because that makes 27 cents.
It does. That machine shot out a quarter and two pennies at you, and you did that little grab. You don't have to. It's the only thing you grab that way. The pennies out, the change out of the little thing. Like that. That at least that's how I do it.
And when I do that, my internal monologue says, yoink.
I am Joey Harris, here with my co-host TJ. How are you, my friend?
And we're back.
Jesus, folks, it you'll see it when it comes. I got to get through. We've got big things coming, but I've noticed that TJ sometimes, when you're just driving along, minding your own business, cannot modulate correctly. And he bites it. Now, I enjoy the enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever think that.
Thank you.
I'm just not always prepared for the enthusiasm.
He's not. So, can I give him a quick? Can I give him a quick
give us
tease?
a synopsis? Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Joey and I had a Thelma and Louise type adventure last weekend, where we traveled to the Alamo in order to see one Deadpool and Wolverine. And in the process of doing that, we were thinking about none other than you. Yes, that's right, viewer. We were thinking about you and trying to create more content that we think you would love. So, holding the microphone or recording apparatus, every time we would come back from a question, I would come back as if we were coming back from a commercial break. Why? Because I was thinking about the editor. Yes, I was. So, it just so happens that every time I would come back with a little energy as if we were watching something on ESPN 8, The Ocho. And we're back. And that right there is all the energy that you need. So that's just a tease for an amazing conversation. We went into everything and then back.
We did. Don't know, even set up the way that it is, we may still have to cut some stuff out of that, add it to its own thing. It'll be like levels, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Add that to the secret millionaire level. You're a secret millionaire, I'll give you all the stuff unedited. Just send it to
Oh
me.
no, absolutely, man. You secret millionaire, you can have access to my colonoscopy records.
Or as my ex's family would like to say, I told you he was full of it.
There you go. What we're watching.
No, they're good people. They're all good people. That's a joke for you all out there, just so uptight people. You know how it is.
Oh, somebody named Rhonda is stewing right now.
And I don't even know any Rhondas.
Help me.
Help me, Rhonda.
That's it.
I'm just going to go off on a quick tangent, and then we're going to just dive in, because you are here for Live Free or Die Hard. So I'm going to dive in before we die hard. All right.
Gotcha.
Now you've been in relationships. You're a man about town. You've dated people and all of that. Have you ever been with someone and they're like, listen, if we get serious, I want you to know, we may have talked about this. Twins run in my family. That happened to me twice. Okay. All right. And I know I'm not bringing up any like personal business stuff like that, but you've got experience in this area.
Absolutely. Right? Yes, sir.
And so I'm looking around, both of those instances happened to me twice, right? I ain't seen a twin yet. I'm like, do the other ones not come to the family gatherings? Oh no, my fourth cousin 4 times removed. They couldn't be there today. Twins. Right? That doesn't mean they run it. That doesn't run in your family.
That doesn't run anywhere in your family. You're only related to them because somebody got married.
Now, my father for 16 years was the mayor of my hometown. The first time that he became mayor, the man who had been mayor like 16 years before him has twin daughters. All right. He's also got a son. The son has twin daughters. Twins run in that family. All right.
Big facts.
If your fourth cousin 4 times removed is a twin, I'm happy for them. But that doesn't mean twins run in your family.
Right. When I'm asked about that, I tell people that my grandmother, who is higher than 1/16 Cherokee, Michael Scott, she is an identical twin.
Okay.
So I am of the mindset to say that twins run in my family. So
Absolutely.
If you need it, if you're out there and you need a twin, call me.
You said that like I know where a bunch of them are, and I'm just going to start giving them away.
I'm resourceful.
Oh, I can get you a twin.
I can get you a twin now.
Like the Big Lebowski. You need a toe, dude? I can get you a toe.
Get you a toe. Ain't nothing. We have fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was going to make another point there. It went right out of my head, so it must not have been important.
It'll come back to you, and then that'll be a callback.
So, I was about to say Live Free or Die Hard.
That's it.
That is what we're watching. I got that confused with Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yes.
Oh, we did. We die hard. We died hard.
We've already died hard with a Vengeance, but I'll tell you why I got it confused. All right, Live Free or Die Hard was released as Die Hard 4.0 outside North America because they wouldn't understand Live Free or Die Hard.
Got it.
That's what. And I had this on DVD with an extra bonus disc full of stuff, and it went into all that. And the bonus disc was called Die Hard 4.0. So it went into my head. I'm like, wait, I didn't change it. Yes, I did. It was called Live Free or Die Hard. All right. It's a 2007 American action thriller film directed by Len Wiseman and serves as the 4th installment in the Die Hard film series. It is based on the 1997 article A Farewell to Arms, written for Wired magazine by John Carlin. The film's name references New Hampshire state motto, Live Free or Die. Due to a contractual obligation, Frank Sinatra was offered the role as John McClane first. However, at the time, he had been dead for 9 years and passed. In the film, yes, in the film, though, NYPD detective John McClane attempts to stop a cyber terrorist, Thomas Gabriel, played by Timothy Olyphant, who hacks into government and commercial computers across the United States with the goal of starting a fire sale cyber attack that would disable key elements of the nation's infrastructure. Live Free or Die Hard was released in the United States on June the 27th, 2007. The film grossed $388 million worldwide, making it the highest grossing installment in the Die Hard series. It received positive reviews from critics. It is the only Die Hard film to be theatrically released with a PG-13 rating from the MPAA, although an unrated edition would later be made available on home media. A 5th film, A Good Day to Die Hard, was released in 2013. Now, I watched, the only edition I had available to me was the unrated edition.
That's the one that I did research on for this one. And if I'm just giving initial thoughts on it, just based on what you get, for me, this is, and it's funny that I draw this line. This is John McClane's Infinity War. Timothy Olyphant is little baby Thanos, and he's just putting all this stuff together in order to get his wish, man. But there's a lot of action, and you can tell with the times and the interactions that John McClane has with Justin Long's character as well as everybody else. You can see that the movie is keeping up with the times. You know, in earlier films, someone just comes to the door and says, "I'm a cop," and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know, like I mean, that happened in Die Hard. They go to Nakatomi Tower, and he walks in. Hey, Nakatomi Plaza. I'm thinking about the tower too. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's all Nakatomi.
Oh,
So
Nakatomi.
it's all Nakatomi. So they go there, and Carl Winslow goes there, and he says, "I'm a cop," and everything's cool, right? In this one, John McClane says, "I'm a cop," and the young man is skeptical. We can see the times, the way that people interact, and how they feel about government was very prevalent in this film. So I like that, that they're not just creating some fictitious world. Like, no, this is real stuff.
If they were to, let's go down a tangent here. If this was Infinity War, and the next one it's not. First of all,
It's
folks,
not.
don't.
It's not.
But if the next one were like his end game, who would you want to see come back?
We'd have to bring Carl Winslow back, and we'd have to bring Argyle. Argyle's going to save the day.
Plus, we need Zeus.
Yes. I mean, but Nick Fury's in everything.
That is true. That is true.
All right.
We would need Carmine, the police chief from the second one.
Yeah. And give me one of the Johnsons. Don't give me Johnson and Johnson. But I'm Johnson, he's Johnson, and we're in the FBI. No, just give me one Johnson.
We're not related.
No, we're not. They made sure to say that.
I also need Bonnie Bedelia back as Holly.
Yes.
And I'm going to need William Atherton back as the reporter somehow.
I'm for it.
They're fighting Hans Gruber's daughter.
Boom. Send the check.
All right. So, in response to the brief blackout at the FBI Cyber Division headquarters, FBI Deputy Director Miguel Bowman requests local law enforcement to bring in high-level computer hackers nationwide. NYPD Detective John McClane was assigned to New Jersey to pick up Matthew Farrell.
Let's not pass up on what he was doing prior to going to get Matthew Farrell.
The whole reason he's in New Jersey. He's at Rutgers checking in on his daughter.
Checking in on his daughter, who goes by her mother's maiden name.
A callback to the first movie when Holly was going by Gennaro.
Her maiden name, yes. There you go.
McClane arrives. Assassins sent by Thomas Gabriel, a hacker and leader of cyber terrorists, attack them, but McClane and Farrell managed to escape. First of all, like just shooting up Farrell's apartment and all of his stuff, and he's like, "Oh no, that you just broke. That makes it more expensive now. It's actually more valuable now." His Spawn character and all of that.
First off, this is another situation where we're talking about guilty by association. Before we even get to Matt Farrell's house, we see the other. You call them black hats or white hats? If you're a hacker, are you a black hat?
If you're like not doing, like if you're doing just shady hacking stuff, I think you're a black hat. Yes.
Okay, so we see all the other black hats hit Control-Alt-Delete on their computers and they blow up. So The one friend is sitting there on the gaming system. He wasn't even the one that committed the crime, but he blew up too. And I can almost guarantee that the guys across the hall that wanted old Matt Farrell to come across the hall and watch their friend on a mean gaming rip, one of them called a stray. Because they did not shoot up Matt Farrell's apartment like that, and somebody didn't catch a stray.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing. Now, it's long been the rule of the street that snitches get stitches. And he was going with that. He was going with there's no Matt Farrell here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you just missed him. And then that guy, see, they won't even set up for a mad gaming rip. They had to set that up because he was in the kitchen going, let me see if I can mess up Matt Farrell's life. I'm just feeling. Oh,
he's out there talking to somebody.
He's at his door. Hey, Matt. Oh, man.
That's it.
So, but the thing is, it wasn't even him that caught the stray. It was his friend that was just chilling in
the one that was on the rip.
Yeah. He was actually playing Madden. He was playing that year's Madden. And I don't know who was on the cover of that year's Madden, but he had gone very far. Let me see what.
Vic, 2007.
Okay, all right. He had them Atlanta Falcons. They were deep in the playoffs. They had not quite gotten to the championship yet, but they were deep in the playoffs.
As video games can do.
Or is everybody playing NCAA now? They're like, I got to go recruiting. I got to set up my team and do all. I'm just sitting down. I want to play the game. I don't care if I'm Mississippi Delta State. Let me play the game.
Bro, listen, we're living free and dying hard, but since you bringing up NC 25, which I do not have, the whole reason I had a PS3 is because I wanted to play NCAA, and they didn't make it for years past 2012. So, yeah, now everybody is getting the feels that I got now. Got to go recruit. That's it. Now we living free and die hard again, folks. I apologize for these tangents.
On the way to Washington, D.C., Farrell tells McClane he had written an algorithm for Mai Lin to crack a specific security system for white hat purposes. Meanwhile, Gabriel orders his crew of hackers to take over transportation grids and the stock market while nationally broadcasting a threatening message to the U.S. government. Farrell realizes this is a fire sale, a cyber attack designed to disable the nation's infrastructure. As McClane and Farrell are driven to DHS headquarters, Lynn, posing as a dispatcher, reroutes them into a helicopter ambush. McClane fends off the attackers and destroys the helicopter with a car.
Because that's something that only John McClane can do. But I also want to take this as a quick moment to let you all know how professional Joey Harris is, because I can't say the words that describe what happened in this movie without laughing. And you did it like a champion. As soon as you said it, I started laughing.
Well, hold on. Let me see. Infrastructure?
You see? See? I'm laughing. But you know what I'm talking about.
Now, listen. I'll say this, because there is a point in this movie. If it doesn't happen yet, it will happen. Gabriel talks to McClane and tells him, listen, I've taken away all of your stuff just by tapping a few buttons. But if you shoot Farrell in the head, I'll give you all that back. Take away your debt. Take away your debt. I'll give you extra money and all that. All right. McClane, first of all, would not do that. Right. Second of all, he's old school. Let me tell y'all something about these people. Born, let's say, from 1922 to 1965. All right. You can mess all them up. You can call them up. They might give you their stuff willingly. But all right, they're not going to take the discount on their bills or anything like that by getting the paperless copy. You're going to mail something to their house.
All right.
So when you show up and say, your pension is gone, excuse me, I got last month's statement right here. They got years and years and years of that stuff. I was going to tell you this, dude. I don't mind telling you this on the thing. I logged on to Facebook right before you and I hopped on with each other, and I got sent a friend request. I'm like, ooh, who wants to be friends with Joey? It was the woman who, obviously somebody had taken her information, and she tried to become friends with me. My mom's best friend, all right?
Okay.
Went to high school together. She was in my mom's wedding. I don't know if my mom was in her wedding, but she was definitely in my mom's wedding. They've been friends all these years. We grew up together. I know the woman, right? It's talking. I'm like, did she make a new page? I don't think so. Somebody had. I looked at the about thing. Talking about born 5 years before I was.
Yeah, that's a hack.
They're the same age. And my mom was not 5 when she had me, her second child. Yeah, try harder next time.
And they will.
Just straight up. All right, let's talk about Mai Lin, that's played by the great Maggie Q. This is unusual thing for her because she usually plays the hero
Yes.
in stories, but she's playing the bad guy here. And
And
McClane totally is like, have we got any? I don't remember the number he tells. He got a code, whatever.
yeah, I can't even think of what the I'm drawing a blank on
But
that.
he just straight up called her out. She's like, I'm gonna kill you. that's how they were. There was just a second of silence. You're gonna die.
Shouts out to Maggie Q from Balls of Fury. That was the first film that I saw her in. I've since seen her in other shows, like I think she was in what was it? Designated Survivor.
She was in Designated Survivor, yeah.
Strong actress. I love her stuff. But yeah, my introduction to who Maggie Q was in Balls of Fury. If you've not seen it, see it. Tell me how you feel about it. Hit the comments.
I came to this episode of what we are watching to tell you how I feel about
Balls of Fury.
She was also in Nikita, the remake of the film Nikita.
Ooh. Was she Nikita?
It was Nikita.
That's what's up.
I don't know why I said that like that, but you know what I mean.
No, I feel like you have to say it like that now. If you ever say that word any other way, I know that you're an imposter. Nikita. That's about like me. Smut you say? If you hear anybody say it any other way, you know it ain't me.
That's true. McClane asks Farrell what would be Gabriel's next move, and he deduces Gabriel's next target is the power grid. They drive to a utility superstation in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
They find the superstation under the control of a team led by Lynn. McClane and Farrell kill the team, and McClane kills Lynn by locking her into a car that falls from an elevator shaft and explodes. Now, I might have put that. This was in several things. I might have cut it out because I was trying to cut my notes down to a manageable size. But Maggie Q's stunt double actually cut Bruce Willis like right in here with her high heel during this scene. He's like, no, I'm all right. And they're like, dude, we can see bone.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so they had to stop for a while so he can get that medically treated. Like nobody was blaming anybody. It was a total accident. Yeah, but
right.
that happened during this scene. And Gabriel is mad because they were lovers.
Well, I mean, you knew there was going to be something, right? Because the relationship that they had was just real close.
Right.
It was just real close, closer than the relationship he had with any of his other henchmen. So yeah, man. I mean, R.I.P. R.I.P. Sexy sounding woman on the phone.
While Farrell is working on the hub computer to slow the damage, he traces Gabriel and uploads his picture to Bowman. Now, this is the part, I don't know how they would have made it work. This is the part where they need that gigantic 15-passenger van with all of the agents around and that shadowy guy in the back. That's like who is he? Because I'm gonna tell you what, that I would never be in that situation. Because like, why would they need? Like, I have no expertise. I wouldn't even be in the van. But they would quickly like, no, you can just go home. Just we'll forget about you. Because I'd be like, who's that guy in the back? What's your story, sir? Sir, I'm talking. Don't act like you don't know who I'm talking to.
So for the record, man, and I hope that if there is ever a time that you are an expert in a crime situation, that the police or the FBI or NASA, whomever is questioning you, I hope that they treat you better than they've treated these characters in the films that we've seen. Zeus got treated like trash.
Every single
Zeus got treated bad. And then Matt Farrell comes in like, look, I'm here because y'all called this cop to come and bring me here. And then you want to tell me that I'm wrong. You're going to tell me it's not a fire sale. I know. Matt Farrell was trying. Look, if they had listened to Matt, they may have had a few more minutes notice, but they wanted to tell him he was wrong and that it couldn't happen.
Because the first thing that they would do if I was in the van, they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it." What do you mean, don't worry? He's in here. He's nobody. Y'all don't just invite nobody to the thing. And look, now he's trying to hide behind the guy's head.
Right.
But the guy's head is smaller than his head. I see you, sir.
You can't hide from me, sir. That's nice. That's nice.
McClane learns that Bowman and Gabriel once worked together for the DoD, and Gabriel was the chief programmer for infrastructural security. He warned the department of weaknesses that made America's network infrastructure vulnerable to cyber warfare, but he was ignored, and his unorthodox methods got him fired, and he is out for revenge.
I call shenanigans on that. I totally understand being upset with your employer because they can't see your vision. I get that. But let's say they listen to it. His salary is $150,000 a year. If they listen to what he said and continued to pay him his salary and implemented all the changes, what? You're saying that you want to destroy this and take all this because they wouldn't listen to you? That's a crazy man.
Yes. Now it doesn't cost them any more to pay him, but they're also looking at it like we can't sell this. Like if we give $1 million, now it would be more than $1 million, but let's just say $1 million.
Right.
You want us to spend $1 million to upgrade our infrastructure? That's $1 million you're taking away from us.
Right.
Now let's be honest. It's billions that we're talking about. But
right.
Sometimes you got to break it down.
Well, but even then, if it's hindsight is always 2020, and for those young fans who don't know what that means, look it up. So, with hindsight being 2020, think about how much money they're going to have to spend in order to get everything fixed again. You're talking about a whole lot of car issues, layoffs with people not being able to go to work, companies, like so much stuff is going to have to be rebuilt. So the cost benefit analysis, I don't know if that was, I don't know if somebody done their due diligence. And it's hilarious because I heard somebody the other day try and say due diligence, and it was not. They could not. So that was hilarious, and I loved it. Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
But you see, what he does is smart. It's smart and it's dumb because he hacks into all of the TV. It's like turn it back. It's on all the channels. That guy in the bar, right?
Yeah.
And then we get like the mashup of all the presidents saying stuff, and the guy's like, I tried to get more Nixon. So upset. And they do a generated blow up of the Capitol building, and everybody's, they're all running out and they're looking at, oh, it's still there. And then they go, but at the same time, you put all those old people on. I knew that this was going to come. Jimmy, get me my bill drawer. And they got all like 50. You're not taking my money.
Look, when that holiday weekend is over and those banks open back up, Sally is going to be there standing next to Jimmy with their most recent bank statement saying, this is what's in here. I balanced my
50 years of bank statement, not just the last one.
Well, no,
you made that last one up. Yeah, no, I didn't.
I bet you I didn't. They balance their checkbook every Sunday. So they know exactly to the cent with interest how much is supposed to be in that account. They there and they ready for it.
Chemical Bank? I haven't done business there in years. I'll be down there in the morning. We can do this over the phone.
I'll see you in the morning, Tom.
What time do y'all open? 9 a.m.? I'll be there at 6. Bring a prune Danish because my blood sugar low in the morning.
When Tom pull up for work, they sit there waiting. Hey, Tom,
checking
Been here since 6.
checking the watch. 9:01 time.
Long night.
What they don't know is that TJ's been inside with a special lady. Call
It's
back.
only breaking and
Call
entering.
back. I stole that bank. I did not rob it.
Right, just stole the whole bank.
Tom, my man, you over there, Tom.
Me and Tom close.
You close.
Oh, man.
Granny's like that guy. She's peeking over. Is that the man that stole my money? And you're offended. I didn't steal anything.
No one stole your money, ma'am. Oh, my stomach hurts.
She turns to her grandson, Jimmy. Why is that young man naked?
I think they slept in here last night, Grandma.
She's fanning. She got the vapors, you know.
Sounds like somebody been cooking Chinese food in here.
Enraged over Lynn's death,
Yes.
Gabriel redirects the natural gas pipelines to the superstation to kill McClane and Farrell, and they barely escape before a massive blackout occurs throughout the eastern seaboard. Now they're just, everything, and he's like, homeboy was like, uh-oh, this is not good. All you need to say is all the natural gas is coming and we got to go.
We got to go. We got to move. But look, I don't know how much it costs to make an explosion like that, but I like it.
McClane and Farrell then travel by helicopter to the home of super hacker Frederick Warlock Kalutis in Baltimore. They're having big fun in Baltimore with the wretched.
Shouts out to Kevin Smith.
Warlock identifies the piece of code Farrell wrote for Lynn as a means to access data at a Social Security Administration building in Woodlawn, Maryland. Doing a trace route, Warlock locates Gabriel. You like the Fett? I'm more of a Star Wars guy myself.
This who you bring to me?
How are we going to know this guy? He's going to be the only one with lights on.
And he was.
He was
the only one. My thing, like, and let's create a little fiction. If that really happened, do you think everybody in the neighborhood is not trying to break into that one house that's got power?
I think normally they would have, but they're like Freddie gives me, he done hooked all of them up with free cable. That's how they leave him alone. Like, they know if he breaks in, like Freddie like helped grandma, like got rid of the grandma's favorite grandson. He got rid of all of his tickets and all of that. So that's how he does that. Yeah.
He got godfather status.
Yes. And let's be honest, Freddie's mama's packing. Like,
Oh yeah.
In there. Yeah.
She's got several guns hidden throughout the house. I'm feeling that.
Because you know how they rolled up. He's like, good evening, Mrs. Kalutis. Is Freddie around?
Yeah. So
the Woodlawn building is actually an NSA facility intended to back up the nation's personal and financial records in the event of a cyber attack, and was designed by Gabriel himself. So he knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
He's got a cousin that made him a backup set of keys. When they say you got to turn in your keys and your badge and all that, or they take them from you.
Right.
He's got a backup key in his shoe. The blackout.
Gabriel's cousin, Lyle, works at Lyle's Keys. So Gabriel had a key made. I'm with it.
Absolutely. The blackout on the FBI triggered a download of financial data to Woodlawn, which Gabriel plans to steal. Meanwhile, Gabriel taps into the connection they made, which reveals the location of McClane's estranged daughter, Lucy, whom he kidnaps. McClane and Gabriel then meet virtually, McClane telling him that he will lose. McLean and Farrell race to the Woodlawn facility. Farrell finds the facility's main server and encrypts the data. Gabriel men download it before getting captured. Gabriel then takes Farrell and Lucy with him as he flees. McLean pursues them, hijacking their semi-mobile base. Assessing the communication system of an F-35B Lightning II, Gabriel orders the pilot to attack the truck McLean is driving, but the jet is destroyed by falling debris. Now, this is my favorite part of the movie. Most people like the car with the helicopter. I love this, where all that stuff is being dumped on the plane.
Right.
McLean barely survives and sees Gabriel's vehicle pull into a nearby hangar. He jumps on that plane and he rides that joker down to the bottom.
Heck yeah.
There, Gabriel demands that Farrell decrypt the financial data. When he refuses, Gabriel shoots him and threatens to kill Lucy. McLean arrives, killing 2 of Gabriel's men, but he is shot and wounded by Gabriel's last man, Emerson. Gabriel positions himself behind McLean, putting the barrel of the gun in his shoulder wound. McLean then pulls the trigger. The bullet travels through McLean's shoulder and hits Gabriel in the heart, killing him instantly. Farrell then grabs a pistol and kills Emerson as the FBI arrives. Afterward, McLean thanks Farrell for saving Lucy's life, who takes a romantic interest in him.
Short-lived.
You think so?
I'm trying to remember. Do we get reference to her and Farrell in the next film?
You don't, but she kind of is just like dropping him off at the airport. And I don't want to, if I'm flying or dropping somebody off, I'm not digging into anybody's personal life. Like, get out.
That's it. That's what you said when you pull up.
I slow down because I'm not paying for parking. You asked me to do you a favor. You better have a carry-on, and you do a shoulder roll out of the vehicle as I slow down.
Note to self:
because like say she did that and he pulls up at the airport. It's not like he opens the door. How's man?
I feel it. I and shouts out to Ramona Flowers is what I know Miss McLean from. John McClane's daughter played Ramona Flowers in one Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So, shouts to her in that one. But yeah, I don't know that her and Justin or her and Matt Farrell, I don't know that her and Matt had a long relationship after that, man. As you said, it was just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's like Speed. We learned in Speed that being in a high adrenaline situation will often cause you to have blood flowing to your loins.
It will. I'm going to take another tangent here. There's also a Stephen King story about a guy who's going golfing, and while he's golfing, he's bitten by a snake, and people think he's dead. He's not dead. He's just paralyzed. And they're doing an autopsy on him, or they're starting to do an autopsy on him, and he goes, I know if they cut me open, I'm dead. And the woman is doing that, and she's like trying to take notes, and she touches him in his tender place, and he gets an erection. That's how he knows that she knows he's still alive. And he says at the end, he goes, we dated for a while, but it didn't work out because that's the only way I could get an erection was if she wore gloves.
Are you serious?
So that's exactly right. A hot, but maybe it was good for both of them. They worked through some stuff and they left on better terms and are better people for it.
I'm a fan of that fiction.
All right, so let's talk about the script and the title. The film's plot is based on an earlier script entitled WW3.com by David Marconi, screenwriter of the 1998 film Enemy of the State. Using John Carlin's Wired magazine article entitled A Farewell to Arms, Marconi crafted a screenplay about cyber terrorist attack on the United States. The fictional attack concept is called a fire sale in the movie, depicting a 3-stage coordinated attack on the country's transportation, telecommunications, financial, and utilities infrastructure systems. After the September 11, 2001 attacks, the project was stalled, only to be resurrected several years later and rewritten into Live Free or Die Hard by Doug Richardson and eventually by Mark Bomback.
So, I can definitely... I can definitely understand why they paused it. I like, and you mentioned Enemy of the State. I do like films like that that show the nasty underbelly of some of the things that we take for granted. You know, because we love all the information at our fingertips, but we really are very susceptible to something like this happening. So I give a lot of love and props to the people who are behind this script because I feel like it was very of the time. And that's why, if you remember from previous episodes of this Die Hard series, I said that the fourth one is my favorite one because when I'm actually getting into film on my own, trying to establish what type of film I like, seeing something that has current dialogue that I was familiar with, a distrust of organized government, and your barefoot cop. When you got all three of those things, that's what I call a hit, ladies and gentlemen. That boy good.
Now, I saw this at the Omni. I think I told you that when we were talking about it. I saw all five Die Hards in a theater situation. So when I watched at the Omni, I didn't see it when it first came out. It was about a month and a half later.
Right.
It was still that summer. It was like late July, I think, when I saw it.
That's how the Omni go.
That is how the Omni goes. But I'll tell you this about Enemy of the State. Back when I was going to college, I was an RA, and during the end of the semester in December, because there's a lot happening in May, so we didn't do it in May. We just had a gathering. The group that I was an RA of, our supervisor would take us out to lunch, and then we would go see a movie.
Okay.
There. And so we went, and that's when he told us that he and his wife were pregnant with their first child. And that child just turned 25. So that lets you know how old I am. But then we went and saw Enemy of the State. I mean, he told us outside of the theater, and then we went and saw Enemy of the State. So
nice. Well, hey, because we're giving random facts, Enemy of the State was written with Tom Cruise in mind.
And ended up with Gene Hackman and Will Smith?
Gene Hackman and one Billiam Smith.
Did you say Billiam? Billiam Smith.
Billiam Smith. Yes.
Willis said in 2005 that the film would be called Die Hard 4.0 as it revolves around computers and cyber terrorism. IGN later reported the film was to be called Die Hard Reset instead. 20th Century Fox later announced the title as Live Free or Die Hard and set a release date of June 29, 2007, with filming to begin in September 2006.
Okay.
The title is based on New Hampshire state motto, Live Free or Die, which is attributed to a quote from General John Stark. International trailers used the Die Hard 4.0 title as the film was released outside North America with that title. Early into the film's DVD commentary, both Wiseman and Willis noted preference for the title Die Hard 4.0. In the United States, the first three films in the Die Hard series were rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America. Live Free or Die Hard, however, was edited to obtain a PG-13 rating. In some cases, alternate profanity-free dialogue was shot and used, or swearing was cut out in post-production to reduce profanity. Director Len Wiseman commented on the rating, saying it was about 3 months into it production, and I hadn't even heard that it was PG-13. But in the end, it was just trying to make the best Die Hard movie, not really thinking so much about what the rating would be. Bruce Willis was upset with the studio's decision, stating, "I really wanted this one to live up to the promise of the first one, which I always thought was the only really good one."
Wow.
That's a studio decision that is becoming more and more common because they're trying to reach a broader audience. It seems almost a courageous move to give the picture an R rating these days, but we still made a pretty hardcore smash mouth film. Willis said he thought that viewers unaware that it was not an R-rated film would not suspect so, due to the level and intensity of the action as well as the usage of some profanity, although he admitted these elements were less intense than in previous films. He also said that this film was the best of the four. It's unbelievable. I just saw it last week. I personally think it's better than the first one.
Oh, snap.
So he did a 180 on it.
He did.
That. The Blu-ray and DVD were released on October the 29th, 2007 in the United Kingdom, on October the 31st in Hungary, November the 20th in the United States, and December 12th in Australia. The DVD topped rental and sales charts in its opening week of release in the US and Canada. There's an unrated version, which retains much of the original R-rated dialogue, and a theatrical version of the film. However, the unrated version has a branching error that resulted in one of the unrated changes being omitted. The film briefly switches to the PG-13 version in the airbag scene. McClane's strong language is missing from this sequence, although international DVD releases of the unrated version are unaffected. The Blu-ray release features the PG-13 theatrical cut, which runs at 128 minutes, while the collector's edition DVD includes both the unrated and theatrical versions. Time Magazine's Richard Corliss named it one of the top 10 DVDs of 2007, ranking it at number 10. In 2015, the movie was featured in the Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza box set, which featured the unrated cut of the film on Blu-ray for the first time in the US. In 2017, the movie was included in the Die Hard collection Blu-ray set with all 5 films in it. Although unlike the DVD, the Blu-ray doesn't contain the branching error during the airbag scene. The DVD for the film was the first to include a digital copy of the film, which could be played on a PC or Mac computer and could also be imported into several models of portable video players. Mike Dunn, a president for 20th Century Fox, stated the industry has sold nearly 12 billion DVDs to date, and the release of Live Free or Die Hard is the first one that allows consumers to move their content to other devices. So this set a record. This is the first to ever have a digital copy included.
So first off, let's not lose the major note here, Joey.
All right.
Bruce Willis agrees with me. Okay? He agrees with me. That's what we need to focus on. You asked which one was my fave, and I was like, you know what? I have to tell you, it's the fourth one if I'm ranking them. 4-1, was it 4-1-2-3?
Let's not do it because we hadn't done 5 yet, and we were going to do our rankings then.
You're right. I'm talking too much, but I did say I really like this movie.
You did.
And for Bruce Willis to say this justifies everything that I said. Thank you, Bruce.
Now, you know they've got to be coming out with, or they're doing a new version of the 4K release for all that, and when it comes out, it's just going to say Bruce agrees with TJ on the front.
It has to.
In that scrolling script, you know how they do the scrolling script? That's how it's going to do.
Bro, if nothing, give me a little ticker on one of those news outlets in the film where it says Bruce agrees with TJ. I'm fine with that as well.
And
thanks, Bruce.
Followed by who's Bruce and who's TJ? Because it doesn't say Bruce Willis agrees with TJ.
I know.
That's an Easter egg, folks. Look for it. If you don't find it, go back and look again.
Watch it again.
Then in the comments, ask if TJ was in the food fight scene.
I will tell you right now.
That's a deep callback. We're not even going to say what it was called from. Callback.
Deep cut. Deep cut.
Reception, box office. Live Free or Die Hard debuted at number 2 behind Ratatouille at the U.S. box office and made $9.1 million on its first day of release in 3,172 theaters. The best opening day take of any film in the Die Hard series, not taking inflation into account.
Nice.
On its opening weekend, Live Free or Die Hard made $33.3 million. 48.3 million if you counted Wednesday and Thursday. The film made 134.5 million domestically and 249 million overseas for a total of 383.5 million, making it the 12th highest grossing film of 2007. As of 2022, it is the most successful film in the series.
Bro, for it to be that successful, considering that it was coming out during the time that Marvel was starting to marvel.
The
Yeah.
The stunt featuring McClane driving a police car into a helicopter took 3 weeks to rehearse. The shot was accomplished by suspending the helicopter in the air with cables and combining 2 separate shots, one of the stuntman leaping from the helicopter and one of the car colliding with it. CGI was then used to delete the support cables and add rotor blades. It took 4 months to assemble and combine archive footage of past American presidents from Franklin D. Roosevelt to George W. Bush to create the televised warning from Gabriel. The goal was to create a video representation of a ransom note.
So I gotta call shenanigans.
3 weeks to do the helicopter scene, 4 months to do the.
That's what I'm calling shenanigans, right? Like, first off, props to the guys that can make that helicopter scene in 3 weeks, because I understand, like, bro, I've been on a set. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. But 4 months, I'm like, man, that's tough. Because if you have all the archive footage, I mean, I guess you're taking into consideration finding the footage also.
That's what it is. You got to find footage of presidents and then assemble it into saying, we're going to blow some stuff up.
I just feel like all of that information should be readily available. Like, I personally feel like anytime the president speaks on national television, that data file should be put into a file.
Oh, it is. But then you've got to find the transcript of saying, all right, at 33:37, he goes, we the nation. And you pull that. That's what took so long.
Get it. I get it.
Now, so what you're doing, it would take
me perspective.
Now it would take them probably 45 minutes to do the whole thing, because they would just do it with AI and just put their words in the mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
The elevator shaft sequence was not in the film script when Len Wiseman was hired as director. Wiseman added it because he associated elevator shafts and claustrophobic spaces with Die Hard, because every Die Hard movie has an elevator scene in it, and this one didn't. And he says, we've got to have one.
The claustrophobia is definitely a big issue. And when you're trying to get through a car before it gets ready to fall, I feel that 1,000%.
According to Bruce Willis and director Len Wiseman in the DVD commentary, the story originally involved McClane's son, Jack. Originally, he was supposed to be the computer hacker John was delivered to the FBI. Eventually, that idea was dropped, and the hacker became the Matt Farrell character. It was then decided to bring in his daughter, Lucy, to keep up the series theme of McClane always having a personal stake in what happens in the story. This film addresses the apparent continuity error in earlier installments. McClane is afraid of flying in Die Hard and Die Hard 2, but not Die Hard with Vengeance. Here he explains that he took flying lessons in order to face his fears. The only Die Hard movie to take place over the course of more than one day. The phrase "live free or die" is from a toast written by Revolutionary soldier General John Stark. The full phrase is "live free or die, death is not the worst of evils."
Nice.
The first sequel in the series where no character mentions John McClane's encounter at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles and Die Hard. However, visual references to Nakatomi Plaza are seen while Thomas Gabriel is looking at John McClane's dossier. Mm-hmm. The bad guy, Thomas Gabriel, points a gun at McClane and declares, "On your tombstone, it will say, always in the wrong place at the wrong time." John McClane is back in the wrong place at the wrong time was a tagline used for Die Hard 2, and the character is told that he is the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time by Major Grant in that movie. The fighter jet is an F-35 fighter, sometimes called JSF or Joint Strike Fighter. At the time of the movie, this type of fighter jet wasn't operational yet. The very first F-35 maiden flight was in June 2008. In this film, the variant is an F-35B, which can hover and take off or land vertically as depicted. Nice. A single frame shot of director Len Wiseman's then wife Kate Beckinsale is spliced into the opening credits when the van is outside the exploding house, because she had been in every one of his films up to that point.
Kate Beckinsale, you say?
The cell, I say.
Wasn't she a vampire
Was she?
in Underworld? Is that the same? Is that Kate
I,
Beckinsale?
I believe so. I've never seen an Underworld, just like we've
You've
never
never?
seen a Wick.
I've never seen a Wick.
I've never seen an Underworld.
I saw two of those.
I don't even like walking by subways. Not that I walk by many subways here in Virginia. Not many.
Oh, you mean actual subways and not the restaurant? I was going to say I hadn't been to one of those either.
A restaurant or the actual subway?
The Subway restaurant.
You've never been to a Subway restaurant?
No, I haven't been in a while.
Okay.
I've been in a Subway before. I don't care for it. I don't necessarily know how I feel about riding underground.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about I don't know how I feel about that type of sandwich.
Oh, no, no, no. I like a foot long every now and again. I just have to have chips. That way you got the ratio of crunchy to soft.
Oh, I'm all about it. You've appeared to me. All right, I'm going to go down a quick tangent here because I'm trying to be mindful of your time. I know you could be here all day because
All day.
that's just the type of person you are, but I'm going to be mindful of your time. I feel like that you're a Jersey Mike's type of a guy. However, you would not turn down a Firehouse sub.
First
And
off, I don't turn down nothing but my bed.
and if somebody said we're going to Blimpies, you're like, I'm not saying no, but I need to know more. That's what I'm feeling like.
The reason that I love you is
Right.
because you pay attention to details. I am, in fact, a Jersey Mike guy who would not say no to a Firehouse sub, especially if I'm not paying for it or if I got a coupon. And if you talk about a Blimpies, I'm going to tell you what I want, and then I'm going to smell it before I eat it.
I feel like that. Are Blimpies even still around?
I don't know. I think the first time I had one, I was 16 years old in Atlanta, Georgia.
I feel like that's a story I've got to get into at another time.
I'm going to give it to you, too.
Timothy Oliphant filmed his role in just 3 weeks.
What?
The first Die Hard film that is set in multiple locations. The first 3 were all set in and around or above primarily one location throughout most of the movies.
Right.
Prints were sent out to UK cinemas under the fake name New Hampshire, a reference to the state's Live Free or Die motto in the movie's original title, in spite of the title being changed to Die Hard 4.0 in European territories. Because of Len Wiseman and Bruce Willis's insistence on using practical effects as much as possible instead of an over-reliance on CGI, post-production on the film only took 16 weeks instead of the usual 26. Now, here's what you need to know. There's another reason for that. Number one is they feel like practical effects are better for Die Hard films, but they also knew that there was going to be an over-reliance on CGI on films that summer because that's when the first Transformers movie came out. And Michael Bay was all about CGI in that movie.
All about that CGI, bathing in it.
So even though they did practical effects, they ended up saving the studio money because they didn't have to do so much post-production. The movie's title, Live Free or Die Hard, as we've said many times, is a reference to New Hampshire state motto, Live Free or Die. Consequently, the New Hampshire State's film office received several phone calls asking where in the state the movie was filmed. Director Len Wiseman credits actor Timothy Oliphant with coming up with the idea of how McClane kills Gabriel. In order to keep it a secret, the scene was not included in the film's shooting script. So they didn't know until they got there how he was going to be killed.
That's what's up. I like that. Like, I would like to be on a set like that where you go in not knowing how it's going to play out. So whenever you actually do it, you're going to get one of the more true responses to it in real time because you're actually finding out. It's nothing that you had the opportunity to rehearse.
All right, folks, I'm going to spoil several series here. So as I tell them, if you want to just check out, after that, you're like, oh, I can't know. I'm going through it right now, even though it's an old TV show. I'm going to do several of them for you right now. So if you hear something, you're like, I don't want to know. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe. Give us a ring. Hit the bell. All right. In MASH, at the end of the third season, in the episode Abyssinia Henry Blake gets his orders that he's free of his army obligation and that he's going home. They do the goodbye. He gets in the helicopter. Everybody says we're happy, and then the writers come up and says we have one more page of script. It takes place in the operating room, and they kill Henry Blake's character. Radar comes in and says, they said, Radar, put on a mask. And he says, I got a message. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan. It spun in. There were no survivors. In the last episode of The Wonder Years, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the woman who plays the mom. Anyway, she says that they were either coming back for another year or this was going to be it. And she goes, that last page they didn't give us. They just have us all there watching the parade. And Daniel Stern says in the narration that they lost the dad like 2 years later. He dies of a heart attack. And she goes, none of them knew that at the time. And there was one other, I believe it's the last scene of Saint Elsewhere, where you learn that the entire show takes place in the mind of a character's son, that none of this actually happens. In fact, from that point on, most of what you see in television takes place in this kid's mind because of all of the ins and outs, including Homicide, Law and Order, The X-Files, Arrested Development, The Wire. Basically, all of this stuff takes place in this kid's mind. You should look it up sometime, folks. So yeah, those are other things. I'm blowing your mind here. You're like, what?
So first off, my mind is completely blown, and I have to look up all of this stuff afterwards. But there is one that I know of that is really not necessarily like they were keeping the pages away. It was just based on the way it was filmed that it happened this way. In a movie entitled, this is old, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
That is correct.
Burt Reynolds plays that lead dog.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the film, when the dog is actually getting ready to go to heaven and the little girl is sick, the dog knows he's not going to be able to see the little girl anymore. Bruce Willis, not Bruce Willis, but Burt Reynolds, they say it took him several takes to film this scene because he's saying goodbye to the girl on scene. Well, in real life, the little girl who was doing the voiceover work for the girl in the cartoon was tragically killed.
Oh my goodness!
And when when Burt Reynolds is going to film the goodbye scene for the dog and the little girl on the movie, that was right after she had passed away.
Wow.
So the reason it took him so many times to do it is because he kept getting choked up because he's hearing her voice in his headphones as he's doing his lines and he's saying goodbye to a girl that's no longer there, man. When I saw that, that touched me, man. That's some powerful stuff.
That's awesome, dude. So we have Die Hard, we have Die Harder, we Die Hard with a Vengeance, and now we've Live Free or Die Hard. And folks, there's only one thing left to do, and that's it. It is a good day to die hard.
If I can put a bow on Living Free and Dying Hard, I have to say that this movie was the culmination of little jokes and hints throughout the first three films. If you pay attention, it seems like John McClane has a real issue with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And for technology to essentially be the rosebud for this movie, is what everything is around technology. it seems like John McClane is getting an opportunity to smile, because it's like all through those first three films, he's got an issue with technology, even to the point in Die Hard 2 when they're on the airplane and they're making the phone call. And the old woman says, "Man, isn't technology great?" Like, I mean, it's just like they were planting the seeds for technology to eventually become a staple in the film.
That doesn't she say, "Not according to my husband"?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. John McClane has always had a problem with it. So for it to be the trunks in this one, I mean, it's just like totally makes sense. It's only appropriate that some cyber terrorism thing would come on, and take his pension away. I got statements.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know that guy that he was helping, the director dude. He's like, all right, thank you so much. We can yeah, you're welcome. Now we need to go over to this little laptop here. You gotta put all my stuff back.
All my stuff back. I want it all back plus interest, man, because this is the fourth time that I done saved a whole bunch of people. I'm a serial killer.
They're like, listen, uh we can't excuse me.
We
Because then
can't.
yeah, because then he would do a little fourth wall breaking. Listen, when I was in Armageddon, that was one of our things. We don't want to pay income taxes ever.
Ever. And they did it.
And they did it.
Michael Clark Duncan was there too.
Leaving on. That's my favorite scene of that movie.
Right?
Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness. So, TJ, before I let you go, my friend, go ahead and plug any and everything that you've got.
At the day that we are recording this, we're preparing to go to the Cannes Film Festival to see Art Crawl premiere in a couple short days. So by the time you all view this, we will have watched that premiere and hopefully gotten some rave reviews. The theatrical debut of not only one Joey Harris, but the Joey Harris show as well is now canon in the Tokyo J universe. So hop along.
And I'm very appreciative of that, and thankful for you. And folks, if you get a chance to see it, it's a fantastic film. Shorter than Gone with the Wind. So if you're going to expect like Gone with the Wind, like no.
No, you can bring a cheese stick, a Capri Sun, and a small 25-cent bag of Lay's, and I think the movie will be over before you get to the Lay's.
Oh, 100%. Although I'll say this, not that cheese stick. I can tear a cheese stick up.
That's why. Me too. I do horrible things to cheese sticks, man. If it's raw or fried, it don't matter. If it's cheese, it's going down.
I love a mozzarella stick.
Ooh, ooh. Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you this, and then I'll let you go. Welcome to the after party where we're talking
Hey.
food.
And we're back.
Now, my wife loves a good marinara, like a dipping sauce.
Yeah.
But whether it's for her mozzarella sticks or her breadsticks, I'm running into people doing their marinara like it's cold. And I'm like, I need me a warm marinara. Not boiling hot. Don't come here with bubbles like I'm just going to burn my mouth inside and out. But just, not knock the chill off of it. Get me a warm marinara. Is it just me? Am I crazy?
You're not crazy. I totally understand what you're saying. I'm flexible. I've become flexible because situations have made me flexible. And I'll give you examples. If I go to a place that, I don't know, resembles a hut and serves pizza.
I'm understanding. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Yeah.
If you order breadsticks from them, they give you cold marinara. But if I go to a sit down and get like some matzo moons, which are like mozzarella sticks, but they're shaped like half moons.
Yep.
I usually get a warm marinara. So I'm fine either way, but like you, I'm like, I can go for a warmer marinara, just a little bit less temp than whatever the cheese is, because I want my mozzarella sticks or moons, whatever it is. I want them hot. I want them piping hot.
Sure. You don't want that. You don't want it to be covered by warm breading, but it's like a lukewarm or a cold stick inside. Because we've all gotten that, folks.
We've all gotten that before. If you've ever had a cheese stick, you've been disappointed by a cheese stick. Everybody has a cheese stick story where they were just so disappointed, even if it was one you made yourself, Laura.
Wow, you just calling Laura out on this.
She knows what she did.
Because you know who else gives you the cold marinara? A place that is named after maybe a Caesar. That's on the miniature side.
Yes.
Just
that
straight
talks
up
about
just
having
cold.
Their food. They say that their food is hot and ready. I thought they were going to go out of business in the 80s.
When I'm there, though, I put the emphasis on the it's hot and ready.
What? I still go there and place my order fresh. Like I'm like, I don't mind waiting.
You got to. Well, the last 3 times I've been there, it is my understanding when you order the breadsticks that the marinara comes with it. Oh no. So I'm like, all right, how much do I have to pay you? Here's your quarter, Melissa.
Because when you order this loco bread, copyright be understood. When you order this psychotic bread, you would expect inside of the bag to be a cup of marinara. But that's not what you get. You actually have to ask for the marinara separate.
Yes. And I'm like, just let me know that. Like, I go in every single time. It's my fault. I'm like Charlie Brown with the football and Lucy. Is at this point, it's my fault for not asking for it. But I have been spoiled by Papa John's because every single time, you know, that sauce is in the corner. Plus, they're gonna throw in a banana pepper nobody has ever asked for.
Nobody has ever asked for. Can I say, the first 2 places we shitted on so much because we wouldn't say their name. But you went in. You went in on the John's and Papa. You went in on John's daddy. You said exactly what it was.
Jonathan Dada.
The father of John. Yes. I like their pizza also, sir.
The hut.
You know, it's a tent, but it's red, and they serve circular hamburgers there. Send the check. You know who we're talking about.
The 4+1 fellows who do the burgers.
Yes. The place it's a gangbang of burgers. We're like, oh, I know what that one is.
Do I get to choose them? What are you talking about? It's a hamburger place. What?
Oh, the restaurant. Cause she was fully in. I guess I got the guys. I got them in my phone. Like, I guess if I could choose.
She was down for it.
Yes, she was.
So we've gone the we've covered everything from Subway.
Yes.
To my phone just wanted to say something, folks.
It missed you.
My watch, yeah, it did. It's like, I don't understand what's going on here. So
having too much fun with TJ.
All right, TJ, thank you so very much, folks. We will be back. We will wrap up our Die Hard. We're going to rank them all, and then we're going to tell you what we've got next. We've got big things coming.
Big things coming. That's the name of my sex tape.
We were almost there.
I need to take a nap. We're like, oh, TJ's having a stroke.
Dozy dotes and goat and little Nancy Ivy. All right, but what we're watching, folks, listen. This is the final thing, then I'll let you all go. Subscribe. Have your friends subscribe.
Share
it. Subscribe, because we're at 6 subscribers as of this recording. We get to 50, we get to go live, and you never know what's going to happen when we go live.
I mean, just think of what you just heard me say. If you tell me that it's live and there's nothing Joey can do about it, I don't know what I'll say. I know what I said on that car ride. That's what y'all need to listen to. And we're back.
Sometimes when I start saying, I don't know what's going to be at the end of the sentence.
Right. Just start talking and just a nice little stroll. Uh-oh. StreamYard just said, y'all need to shut it down.
Yes, they did. They're like,
or we just had a live free or die hard type of glitch situation right there. Either way, I want no smoke, Gabriel.
TJ's like, listen, it'll be complicated, but I can find me them hard copies.
All right.
Dust everywhere. They're dusty. But
I keep everything in my hideaway desk. Everything's in my hideaway desk, man. It's awesome.
I'm going to have to edit that out. They're like, get the desk.
Right. Awesome.
I'm going to tell you what, either you or me, that's going to be a petty guy like to take all that we have. Like, if you're coming for us, don't start with us.
If you're coming for me, it is literally just for training purposes. If you coming for me, it's because you want to show you guys, like, okay, so in a usual situation, this is what we would do. We're not going to get anything here.
Robin Hood shows up like we're here to rob you. You consider me rich?
Where are you getting your information?
Oh, Robin, here, let me get a piece of it. I'm going to write you a map here.
Right.
This is
like
the neighborhood you need to be in, my friend.
If you're going to rob me, the only thing you're going to find is a piece of paper that says I owe you. And at the bottom in parentheses, it says riches. That's the best you go get.
And then you just hand it over to them. There you go.
That's it. The only thing you're going to get on me is the stylish mohawk.
They're taking my man's corn dogs. Not my corn dogs.
Not my corn dogs, Nathan.
All right. TJ, thank you so much again. We will
have
see
so much
you all.
fun.
Yes, and we will see you all next time.